thing popping up on my screen. Um, I wanted to come on here today. I didn't have anybody subscribe to the or fill out the form for a YouTube channel audit. So I am going to talk about, sorry, I'm turning off the notifications right now, but wanted to come on here and talk about 3 reasons why you're if you're considering to start YouTube, why you should start right now. We're at the end of 2024. 2025 is right around the corner, and we are quickly approaching, no, actually, we're already in the busiest time of the year, which is the shopping season. So you can start now, might be a little too late to tap into the shopping season for 2024, unless you do shorts. That's a way to start getting more attention there. I do recommend if you do shorts right now to keep them under 60 seconds because there's some wonkiness going on with the algorithm and how it's placing YouTube shorts that are over 60 seconds. As of October 15th, 2024, YouTube rolled out the ability to create YouTube shorts up to 3 minutes, which you still can do, but it's just where it's being placed in the search results is really wonky right now. So I would say if you're going to make YouTube shorts right now, great time to start. Just make them under 60 seconds, at least for now, until they figure out all the wonkiness. So what I wanted to talk about was, apart from that, was 3 reasons why it's important to get started with YouTube. And YouTube, some of the pushback that I hear sometimes is that people are already, women over 40 who I typically will work with, are already doing content on other platforms, which is great. Keep doing what you're doing because if there's something that's working, then obviously you don't want to stop doing something that's already working. But here's what I'm going to tell you is that YouTube goes into your marketing and sales strategy as a complement to what you're already doing on all the other social media platforms, your email marketing, your website, your blogs, all the goods. This is a completely different audience that it's important to consider and really tap into because people are out there already looking for your offers and your services. And if you're not there, then you're missing out. And because YouTube operates completely separately than or completely different than all of the other social media platforms, and it's also the second largest search engine in the world, owned by the first largest search engine in the world, Google. That means that you're getting double the exposure without double the work. So it's just it's a simple math problem there. But if we look at getting started, I talk to a lot of people who, they're hesitant to get started with YouTube. It's either overwhelm, it's fear, it's lack of time, it's the technology, could be a wide variety of things, but we all have a camera on our phone and it's a very high quality camera on our phones. And so you have everything you need right now to create a video, even without editing, especially if you're going to be doing YouTube shorts. So taking baby steps is the first step or tip that I have for you in getting started with YouTube right now. So taking baby steps to get started would be, looking at what's really holding you back too. So when I first got started with video, it was all about like, I needed to create perfect videos. I need to make sure that everything I say is not going to be judged. I need to make sure that, I'm following all the rules. And the thing is that people don't like perfection. They want to see real people. They want to see, hey, thanks for joining. Yeah, please ask a question. Thank you so much for joining me live. Question for me? Yep, go ahead. Is that people want to see the real you behind the camera. And so it actually took me some time to actually put that into motion. And honestly, I kind of go back into those steps sometimes too, because there's always that fear of something, right? It could be fear of judgment, it could be fear of people leaving comments on your videos. And this is on any platforms. And of course, I'm just focusing on YouTube right now. Yeah, go ahead and ask your question in the comments. I'm watching the feed. I've got my glasses here in case I need them. But if you go back and look at this video, my live stream from when it started, I'm clearing my throat. I'm doing things that obviously are not making this a perfect video, but that's okay because we're being human, right? Do you know what Prime. Okay, I got to put my glasses on. I can't see this. Prime. I don't know what that is. I do not. I do not know what that is, Cheryl. Hey, thanks for joining me from Turkmenistan. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correct. Sorry about that. Yeah, if you could tell me, Cheryl, what that is and then how I might be able to, help you with that with YouTube. I'll see if I can help you while I'm doing this live. I also have a link in the description for a free webinar. It's actually a masterclass that I did last week. And I'm leaving it up through November 30th. It's a free masterclass. And I walk through different steps for how to create your YouTube channel and, for organic, purposes. Not if you're looking to run paid ads, I'm not your girl. Because I haven't done that. I don't know how to do it. I could learn, but it's not something that I'm an expert at on YouTube. So, a drink. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Okay, interesting. Are you, Cheryl, are you like a mixologist, a bartender, or were you just curious if I knew what that was? Let me know. Let me know how I can help you. So, getting just videos out there and just starting to create your content is just picking up your phone like I am right now. I'm going live, but you could do a YouTube short very easily. And like I said, when I first got on here, is to keep them under 60 seconds for now. You can create YouTube shorts that are up to 3 minutes, but YouTube is not placing them where they're supposed to be right now. So the search results are really wonky. So I would say right now, if you truly want your video under 60 seconds to be placed in the shorts feed, just keep it under 60 seconds. Once they figure out the placement and making sure that a video under 3 minutes is accurately placed in the YouTube Shorts search results, then you can go back to that. Start doing that. I am a kid. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. So curious why you were asking me about that. Let me know that too, Cheryl, in the comments. So if we look at the baby steps, like I was saying, when I first got started, it was just all about I was overthinking it, trying to be perfect. But really the first thing is that every single person's video is awful. The first 10, they're not good. And that's okay. Anything that we start, for the most part, it's always going to be bad because we don't know what we don't know. And the only way to actually start knowing and start getting better is to take action, right? So if you're like, I'm not sure what to talk about, because that sometimes is something that my clients or people I talk to actually struggle with too. Like, go to press record and you're like, oh my God, what do I talk about? And you can do what I do is, I've just got notes, I've got 3, I just wrote it down on a piece of paper here, the 3 things that I want to talk about. You can do that, but if you're going to do like a YouTube short and it's under 60 seconds, you could still do that. You just need to keep your bullet points, your talking points really short. But it's super fast and it's super simple to just pick up your phone, record a, under 60-second video. And then even if you don't like it, you don't have to post it, right? So at least you're putting that intention into motion. And when you take action, it creates clarity, but it also helps you learn from what you don't know. So the more that you do it, the more comfortable you'll get with actually creating the videos. Again, even if you don't publish it, at least you're creating it. And then when you're ready to publish it, then go ahead and publish it. There's no rule that says when you create a video, you have to publish it. Even if you create it on, within the YouTube app, you can create it, and before you publish it, you can delete it. Now, of course, if you're going live like I am right now, it's just live, unless you're streaming to particular individuals or privately, you can do that too. So that is what I wanted to talk about with just taking baby steps to get started. The second thing, I should have done a stand right here because I'm holding this right now. The second thing is that starting a YouTube channel doesn't mean that you have to disregard or drop or ignore anything that you're doing on any of the other social media platforms. In fact, YouTube is actually a great complement to what you're doing on the other social media platforms. It doesn't operate the same way in regards to why people come to YouTube. people come to YouTube because typically they want to learn something. They want to be entertained. How-tos, tutorials, and then of course you have like a lot of gaming channels and that sort of thing for, the entertainment purposes. But if you're like me, where you're B2B or you're just serving other businesses, then there's still a huge opportunity here as well to educate or do tutorials or just talk about your experiences, whether you're vlogging or you're actually creating a business and representing your own brand like I am. So I am the face of my brand. So I come on here and I talk about how to get started with YouTube, how to start creating videos, building confidence, how you can make money, that sort of thing. Great content as usual. Thank you. I appreciate that. Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Yeah, I like him as an actor. He's a great person too. So creating YouTube content is a great complement to everything else you're doing. You just have to create a strategy that's going to work with that. And then also how I work with clients is how can we take your YouTube video content and leverage it, right? So you don't have to create a video on YouTube and then start all over from scratch if you're going to create a video for LinkedIn, or if you're going to create a video for even like Instagram Reels. You can create one video on YouTube and then you can repurpose or use that content, break it up into different ways and different formats, and use that on all the other social media platforms. So it actually can serve as a starting point for all of your other content. So keep that in mind as well. So it's not necessarily adding more work or adding more hours to what you're already doing. It actually can become a complement to what you're already doing. See, I have terrible handwriting, so I probably should have like had my computer down here so I could actually see this. Let's see here. Strive. I can't read it. I can't read the other points on here. I think I got my points across. I think there's one other thing on here I wanted to talk about, but honestly, I can't read it. I need to write slower and bigger, or just bring my computer down here so I can type it out and read that. The other thing is the impact with your business. So a lot of reasons why, or one of the biggest reasons that why people want to start a YouTube channel is because they understand the value and the reach in regards to visibility. So you kind of get lost in the mix when you're on the other platforms because one, the algorithm works completely different. But it's all a matter of what are people on those platforms for? Is it for videos, or is it for text, or is it for images or carousels or PDFs or whatever the case might be? And here it's all about obviously the video content, but you can look at it from a visibility standpoint, is that using YouTube to increase your authority, your credibility, and also like use it as a way to get exposure into other areas. So for example, if you've got somebody or you want to be a guest on someone's podcast, they might have a video podcast. They might want to see you in action before they consider you, or even before they vet you for that, guest spot. And having YouTube videos is something you'd be like, okay, well here, if you've done other guest spots, like I have, I've been on like over 35 podcasts now as a guest. So I could actually take that playlist and say, here's all of my experiences on being guest podcaster. And then they can get a better understanding of who I am as a guest, like what they might expect from me, how I act on a podcast, if I'm going to be easy to interview, if it's going to be a great conversation, that sort of thing. If you want to get on stages, obviously being on video is completely different than being on stages, but it's a great way to give someone insight into what they might expect, right? So hopefully you're not going to be a completely different person on camera than you're going to be in person. So it's almost like an introductory step that you're already kind of a step ahead from other people, possibly, if you're creating videos on YouTube, and they can actually get a better understanding of who you might be as a guest, whether it's podcast, it's on a stage, it's, a guest spot on a panel, that sort of thing. Let me see here. Hey, Vicki. So what advice do you have for people like me who want to start, but are scripting the video way too much and is just stuck in the planning stage? I think first I want to applaud you for planning, doing the research, and like taking action. So you're already like miles ahead of where a lot of people are because they just think too much through it, right? They don't even start the planning process. So first, I want to recognize you for that and applaud you for that because I love the fact that you've taken that action. Um, if you're scripting too much, I would kind of look at why. You know, is it a topic that maybe you're not as familiar with? And maybe you shouldn't be talking about it. Or if it's a topic that you're just somewhat comfortable with, that's okay. Then, you know, create your videos based on what you know. So, an example would be if I wanted to start growing a garden, like I know enough about like how to plant seeds, how to like kind of take care of the crops. And this is going way back in the day when I was a kid. And just, you know, that sort of thing of helping my mom, my sisters and I helping my mom take care of the garden that we had in our backyard. Um, so I know a little bit. Now, would I come across as some kind of expert? Absolutely not. But I could start talking about it, right? And then I would start researching it and I would start educating myself more on that topic and bring your audience along for the journey. So, you know, start talking about what you know. And maybe it's not scripting it so much word for word, kind of like what I did here. Just do it so you can do it legibly. Like I've got my main talking point, and then I've got three talking like topic or talking points underneath that I wanted to talk about on this live stream. So I would say just bullet point out what you want to talk about. Don't overthink it and just go ahead and make a video. If you're overthinking it and you're over scripting it, I would even creating a video with what you know. And then even if you don't want to publish it, just kind of going through the motions of actually pressing record and getting it done, you'll be amazed at how I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it like energizes me. Like I'm excited, like, oh my gosh, I did it. And if you don't overthink it too much and just do it, then it'll be more a feeling of like energized instead of like a little bit of relief, right? But maybe more energized instead of like, oh, thank God that's over, you know, kind of a difference in perspective. So just don't, if you're going to script it word for word, it's probably going to take you longer to actually do it because you're going to be too worried about tripping up on the words. Telling you from this experience, I've done this before. Um, but you're going to be too focused on the words instead of the reason why you're creating the video. And the reason why you should be creating the video, if you're like me and like most people, is that you're helping your target audience. You know, your ideal clients are coming to you because they want to learn from you. They want to understand you. They want to know how you can help them solve a particular problem or multiple problems. So focusing your efforts on the message itself and delivering it to that person is going to be a lot better than focusing on the words and making sure that you hit every single word. And it'll come across more authentically, and people will be more receptive to that instead of, even if you're using a teleprompter. You know, if I had a teleprompter right here and I'm using it again, I can't see what I wrote, but if I did have it written, so I could, if it was legible and I could actually read it, see if, you know, you can tell a difference between how I'm reading this. YouTube videos are made for helping people make sure that they can solve other people's problems. If you're here for that purpose, you know, so it's like, it's very, like if I'm trying to focus on the words and every word saying, I'm losing people because it's not what people want. Keep in mind that people relate to people, and that's all people in. I hope that makes sense. If you could let me know, let in the comments if you're still here. Hopefully you are. If that was helpful. And if I answered your question, I think I did, but if you need more details or if you need it from a different perspective, let me know that as well. But it's something that, and then of course, it helps with sales being on YouTube. Whether you monetize your channel, which is, thanks a lot. That makes a lot of sense. I will implement what you have said. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Feel free to like tag me in the comments or in the description so I can see it. I would love to support you. and just see what you create. I would love that. And thank you for being here too. I really appreciate you. And so looking at YouTube as well from a monetization standpoint. So there are many individuals who are 100% spending their time on YouTube, and that is their business. And they make 6 and 7 figures. And I've seen that it's not just people who are like making it up. They actually show you behind the scenes in their dashboard live. So it's not like screenshots where they could have manipulated it. Um, I mean, people are genuinely making a lot of money on YouTube, and it's not all from AdSense, meaning it's not all from the ads that they place in their videos. In fact, I've heard quite a few YouTubers say that that's the smallest percentage of revenue that they make. So a lot of it comes from either collaborations or brand deals or even merch, that they have on there, their memberships. So there's a lot of different ways, or online courses, things that they sell through their videos. That call to action that they'll have. A lot of people make money that way. So YouTube is a great way. So kind of think of it from the perspective of somebody's coming here to solve a problem, right? They're coming to get an answer to a particular problem. How can I help them further after they watch this video? Is it serving another video? Is it saying download this, free checklist, this free item? Is it saying join my free Facebook group? So there's a lot of different ways that you can capture someone's attention and then keep them in your world so that you can continue to help them in their journey until they're ready to buy. And if they're in your world, then it's going to increase the chances that they buy from you. Okay, so those are different ways that you can monetize your YouTube channel, but that's, just something to keep in mind. And one of the big benefits of YouTube is that now you can't really, you can still do all the links and the affiliates and stuff on all the other platforms, but typically those are more platforms to drive people off the platform, right? So if you're sharing video content on Instagram Reels, I'm not going to say TikTok because they're doing a really good job right now with TikTok Shop, and there's people who are making a lot of money on TikTok just through TikTok Shop. So completely different animal, but so I would say they were close second, easy for me to say, close second to monetizing video content. They're just doing it in a completely different way. So if you have any other questions, let me know. So how exactly do brands identify your channel though? You start off typically when it comes to making, even like doing brand deals, typically you'll do it first by just sharing, your products. I'm trying to see what this is, Papermate. I'm not sure. If this is like a Papermate pen and like I wanted to have a brand deal with Papermate, then I would find ways to incorporate the Papermate brand into my videos. So I might talk about the pen. Obviously, the focus of the video is not going to be about a pen. But when we're talking about something, showing the product, hey, this is a Papermate pen, so you kind of look at it from different perspectives like that. And dogs over here. So you look at it from that perspective. And then you could also do like, especially on TikTok, they're really good about that, is to like actually do videos on, like focus on the pen, but not really. So it's not like a commercial like what you would see on TV. It's more incorporating it into like a real life situation. And then once you've done that enough, you could reach out to a brand and say, hey, I've gotten this many, subscriber. I've got this, big of an audience. I've done this before. Here's how many views. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do it, but that's one way to do it. You could also approach brands direct, like as a cold, approach, and see if there's an opportunity to work with them. Now, I do know that if you're over 40, male or female, there's a lot of brands right now looking for people who are over 40 to do collabs with. So if you're over 40, then I would say, reach out to brands that you're interested in and see if they might be interested in collabing with you. That's another great way to do that. So hopefully that answers your question. Brands identify your channel. Oh, so identify your channel. I would just tag them in your content or the videos that you're, including them in. I would, if you've got access to the community post, you can do it there too. Just wherever you can would be a way to do that. So hopefully that answers your question. If you have any other questions after I stop the live, I will watch the comments and see how I can answer those as well. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you think somebody might benefit from the content of this video, then please feel free to share it with them as well. I'm a 22-year-old male, so I hope I still have a chance. You still have a chance. Yeah. I'm just saying that I think the population over 40, just because it's not as likely that they're going to be on the social media platforms and like creating videos and doing brand or, doing any type of sponsorship or brand deals. I think that's why there's a bigger opportunity there. But as a male who's 22 years old, there's all kinds of opportunities for you. I would say also look at TikTok because that's a great place for your demographic. I've got two daughters, one's 26 and one's 24. One of them is very engaged with TikTok and making money on there. So it's a really great platform for your generation. So I would highly recommend taking a look at that as well. All right. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Everybody, if you're watching the replay too, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hope to see you next time. Make today great.